Get your hooves into this cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins on at least one race every day of the Punchestown Festival. Find out each day's race online at paddypower.com. Max free bet £10. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Hi there, it's good to have you along on the Monday Postcast. I'm Bruce Millington, and joining me today for a packed show are Nick Watson, Tom Siegel, my Racing Post colleagues, plus Paul Binfield from Paddy Power. We've got loads on. It's Punchestown Festival starts tomorrow with 3 Grade 1s. We will be looking at them and all the action from the opening day card at Tuesday. We'll get the fancies from the lads on what they like the rest of the week. We will pick apart the classic clues that were presented to us last week, and we'll try and pick the winner of the Bet365 Gold Cup that brings down the jump season at Sandown. On Saturday, we'll get the lads' highlights of the season as well. So, tons to get through, and even your chance to win a free £25 or €25 bet. But before we do anything, we need to pay homage to the most superb postcast debut from the Paddy Power expert on Friday, Niall O'Reilly. It was his first ever effort and his first ever nap. Listen to this. And as you're the debutant, you go first. Who wins the Scottish Nash? Nice, easy one.
The one I like at a price is Joe Farrell. The day he caught my eye was behind Mia's Storm with good ground early in the season. He was beaten 17 lengths that day, but he had the ultimate winner, Q Star Savola, in behind him, so it looks like useful form. You'd really have to watch the race back to know where I'm coming from here, because he ran much better than that finishing position suggests. All he seems to do is jump and stay, so I'm hoping this test could really suit. He came back after a break in March, and he absolutely hacked up at Newbury. He's gone up £11 for that. But I'm hoping just a combination of this trip and the better ground will bring out the very best in him here, and I think he's a cracking each way, about 33-1.
What a start. Well played, Niall. So Joe Farrell won by a nose. Doesn't matter, you still get paid out the same. That was a superb postcast debut. A lot of love on Twitter afterwards for Niall, so he can come back, that's for sure. Can DJ come back from this, though? Because Paul Keeley was also in scintillating tipping form on Friday. Poor old David Jennings, not so much. Who wins this one, Paul Keeley?
This is another race that, you know, you can get loads of shocks in it, and there's a horse in here right down the bottom. It's 25-1 shot called Dan's Dream with Mick Shannon. Now, he's only won a 5.5 furlong maiden at Bath 3 weeks ago. The trainer said afterwards they had her in all the races all the big entries last year, but she just went wrong. So they've always thought the world of her. Now, Mick Shannon has won this race 4 times, including with a 25-1 chance that came straight out of a Hamilton maiden. I'm just quite interested in having a stab at a price.
So Dan's Dream at 25s for Keels. DJ, who do you think will win this?
You've no idea how much respect I have for Paul Keeley. Like, it's just incredible. I love the man, but like, this Dan's Dream can't win this race. Like, there was 3 horses tailed off after furlong in that mess of a race in Bath. It was a shocker. If this wins, this is the shout of a lifetime for Dan's Dream. Gavotta is a proper filly, and if Dan's Dream finishes in front of Gavotta, what will I do? What will I do, Paul? I'll buy you pints for the rest of your life.
Hey, well, I'm coming over at Punchestown on Tuesday, so...
Oh, blimey, you didn't think you'd have to cash that one, did you?
Oh, no.
So there you go, Keels is on his way to Punchestown tomorrow. David Jennings is having to dip into the wedding fund to make sure that Keels gets enough Guinness, and hopefully plenty of you back Dan's Dream and Joe Farrell at huge prices. So we were informed there. Hopefully the lads are informed today. Let's look ahead to tomorrow's opening day of the Punchestown Festival. And obviously the subplot here is Willie Mullins versus Gordon Elliott for the Irish Trainers' Championship. So before we look at the races, Binners, what's the latest prices from Paddy Power on that?
Just to say, first of all, Bruce, it's completely unfair. Niall O'Reilly, not only is he the greatest tipster at Paddy Power, but also he's the best-looking trader in the trading room. So life is unfair.
Can't say the same for Keels, can you?
Well, listen, David Jennings is all right. Anyway,
in my experience of traders, Binners, that's like being the highest mountain in Holland, as they say, mate. But go on.
Listen, we're 8 to 11 Gordon Elliott, and it's evens Willie Mullins. I wouldn't be surprised if Willie Mullins comes in price during the week. OK, well, let's tackle the first of the Group 1, or the Grade 1s rather, tomorrow. It's the Herald Champion Novice Hurdle at 420. What's the latest betting? I bet Get a Birdie's pretty short, Binners, isn't he? Yes, indeed. Evens, Bruce. And then we go 4 to 1 Mengzi Khan together with Paloma Blue. And then it's 14 bar Sharjah Whiskey Sour on 14, and it's 16 bar. So 3 heading the market, really, Bruce.
Are you playing or laying this Get a Bird?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this went to neither Mullins already at this race. Paloma Blue's quite an interesting horse. Was only a length off Mengley Khan in the Supreme Novices. Has had a nice break since then. So comes here relatively fresh. Good run prior to that behind Sam Crone. Ran well at this meeting last year behind Fiona. So I think all the credentials are there for him to upset the big two. I wouldn't say Get a Bird is bomb-proof by any means. And I think Paloma Blue's got realistic prospects of turning around that length with Mengley Khan too. So I would side with Henry de Promed's horse.
And a bit of dirty each way there. We've got 8 runners, and we've got more than 8 runners, so we can certainly do some each way damage there, can't we, Watsy? Or would you be all up to win?
I quite fancy horse to win. I thought that was a really good run in the Supreme. If he's come forward from that, then I think he's got every chance.
Righty-ho. Tom, how are you seeing this race?
Get a Bird's an interesting one, Bruce, isn't it? It's the one mistake I think Willie Manners made all at Cheltenham, didn't it? I mean, he just pulled far too hard, didn't he, from the word go. Now, look, he's unbeaten right-handed, so maybe it was Cheltenham that was the problem for him, but it's clearly the form horse. I don't like horses that do things wrong very much at odds on, so I agree with Watsy Paloma Blue. He's got to settle. I give a chance to Willie Mullins' other one. Like last year, Willie had lots of second and third strings come in. I think Sharjah's going to run a race at a massive price. The key to him is ground. He's been thrashed on heavy ground the last 3 times. But if you remember back to Leopardstown over Christmas, he was going to hack up in that Grade 1 on ground similar to what he's going to get at Punchestown. I didn't think he ran too badly at Cheltenham. He probably finished in front of Get a Bird that day when he clearly didn't get home in the ground. I think he's got the tongue tie on for the first time. I think at 20-1, I agree with Watsy. I like Paloma Blue. But I think if I was going to throw a few quid at one each way, it'd be Sharjah at 20-1.
And we're looking at yielding this week, Tom, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what it says at the moment. I don't think there's much rain forecast for today, but there might be some during the week.
And yielding is basically Irish for good to soft,
that's it, good to soft ground. So it'll be totally different to anything Get a Bird's run on this season. Let's be honest about it. He did win a bumper on this similar type of ground last year by miles. So I'm not saying that the ground will be a massive issue for him, but it's just it's hard to get away from what he did at Cheltenham, and he's odds on here. So I'll be looking to take him on. I agree with Watsy. I think Paloma Blue's the obvious one, but Sharjah each way for me.
Binners, will you be opening the wallet for this one?
I'm going to take on the favourite here, Bruce. Too short for me. I'm really a big Mengley Khan fan. I think it was a good effort behind Somerville Boy in the Supreme. Heavy ground would have been against Mengley that day, and the better ground at Punchestown will suit with Jack Kennedy on board again.
OK, the 5:30s, the Boyle Sports Champion Chase, and not 1, not 2, but 3 superstars from the Willie Mullins yard dominate the market here as he goes all out to try and eat into that gap of Gordon Mullins at the top of the table. Mullins runs Dr. Phoenix. What does it all mean in betting terms, Binners?
What a crackerjack this is, Bruce. 5-4 Duvan, 9-4 Min, 5-1 Earned, 7 Dr. Phoenix with Gordon Elliott trying to pick up a few pieces probably, and then it's 16-1 Special Tiara, and you can have 33-1 the rest.
Tom, I don't know about you, but I mean, I don't think that this race is any less exciting with these 3 horses because they're all trained by Willie Mullins. I just think it's a great contest, don't you? Or are you kind of are you less excited about it because they're all from the same yard?
No, I'm totally with you. I love. I mean, it's a bit of a credit to him that he runs all 3 of them, isn't it? I mean,
must.
Yeah, but they're 3 tremendously, fantastically exciting horses, aren't they? Duvan, Min, and Underso. I mean, I'm sure there was the thought of not running Min, for example. He ran at Aintree the other week, didn't he? Last week, 11 days ago. So it'd been easy for him to leave Min in his box, isn't he? But the fact he's running it's tremendous. I mean, personally, I don't fancy Underso that much. I think the ground. I think he on over 2 miles on good ground, he's beatable. He got beaten last year by Fox Norton. The conundrum horse is Duvan, isn't he? I mean, I've never seen a horse travel so well in a champion chase like he was doing. I mean, he was absolutely cantering, it looked like, but he did come down. How do we know what sort of, that was his first run for God knows how long. How do we know how he would have finished the race? I mean, he's 6-5. I'd love him to win because he's one of my favourite horses, and I think he's one of your favourite horses too.
He absolutely is. But the thing with him there, Tom, is that the injury he had is not one of those ones that's going to slow you down. Once it's better, it's better. He's only 8 years old. We could still be seeing him at his best. And You're absolutely right. He obviously fell far too early at Cheltenham for us to tell, but I don't know. There was just something in the way he was moving that was making me think he was about to run an absolute monstrosity of a race there. So I've got to admit, if he comes out and does what I hope he does tomorrow, I could have a tear in my eye. You know, I just love this horse so much. But from a betting point of view, from a cold-hearted
what would you do, Bruce? How would you play it?
I don't know. There's very few races that I watch and savour and not bet on. I like savouring them and betting on them. I think, do you know what? I think I might do, Tom, and you're the expert, so it doesn't really matter what I do. I'd have a little bit on Douvan because if he is back to his best, he's actually probably an odds-on shot here. But what about you? We want to know what you do here.
See, I'd because once again we got quite a nice a betting shape to it. You've got Douvan, very short price. Not quite sure. You've got Min, who ran at Cheltenham and Aintree and coming on to Punchestown. They don't tend, it's always a touchy-feeling thing to know how they're going to react to the 3 races. But, he's 5-2, I think he is. Then you got Underso, I don't fancy. So I think it's got quite a nice each-way shape to it. I would be probably playing something like Ordinary World to hit the frame at 33 to 1. Maybe that's the way I'd play it. But like you, it's all about Douvan. I don't really want to bet against Douvan because I just love him to win. But maybe that's what I'll do. I'll play Douvan to win and then Ordinary World each way. What's
your strategy going to be?
I think I'd be all in on Douvan, to be honest, Bruce. I think Min and Underso are in there, obviously, to pick up place money to help Mullins. Min, as Tom said, has been to Cheltenham and Aintree, had a really hard race at Aintree as well. Good battle with Politolog. That might have left a mark, but if you can grab 2nd or 3rd, that's great for Mullins. Same with Underso, not quite as best at Cheltenham with everything in his favour. Balco de Flo's let the form down since, and I thought Underso might have been a little bit lucky to win last time when Dr. Phoenix was challenging him and then came down. So again, he's there to grab 2nd or 3rd. I think it's a really good fit for Douvan this race. I thought, like you said, and Patrick Mullins confirmed it afterwards, that he's very, very happy with the way he was going at the time. His jumping's always been pretty good in the past, so it's a slight worry that he guessed at that and came down. I don't know quite what happened, but if he can get into a good early rhythm, I think this is really one that he can win. And I think, like you said, at his best, he just beats these.
Lovely. Binners, you wanted to take on the first fav, Getabird. Do you want to take on Douvan?
Yeah, why not? Despite the Council Award, Paul Townend choosing Douvan, I'm going to go for Min. I think he was beaten by a very special horse in Altior in the Queen Mother. Only beaten a fag paper in the Melling Chase over an extra half a mile by Politolog, who's a good animal in his own right. And while I think he might have been outstayed, but also the winner had the running rail there. So I'm going to go for Min with doubts over Douvan after the fall, although he might win by 100 lengths.
OK, one more great Grade 1 coming up in a mo.
Get your hooves into this cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins on at least 1 race every day of the Punchestown Festival. Find out each day's race online at paddypower.com. Max free bet £10. T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
OK, let's look at the other big highlight of the Tuesday card at Punchestown. It's the 640. It's the Growwise Champion Novice Chase. And Monolith heads the market here, Binners. What's the latest betting?
Yep, 6-4 Monolith for the Waterford Wizard, Henry de Bromhead. 4 Almboom Photo, 6 Shattered Love, 7 Finian's Oscar, 10 Raffinden, and it's 12 Bar, Bruce.
And we'll stick with you, Binners. You can go first.
Well, listen, Tom Nugent and Niall O'Reilly, they keep throwing in big price ones. I'm going to go for the storyteller each way in this. Gordon Elliott and Davy Russell won the plate at Cheltenham with this horse. Brilliant ride from Davy. Admittedly, a little bit disappointing last time, but I think he'll appreciate the step up to 3 miles and better ground. And I think he's a huge price at 20 to 1.
Who do you think will win, Nick Watts?
Well, no horse has perplexed me more this season, Bruce, than Finian's Oscar. He's been a 2-miler, he's been a 3-miler. He was a Stayers Hurdle horse back in January. And I was already to give up on him. I was up at Aintree, and on the first circuit, his jump, or the start of the second circuit rather, when they sped up, his jumping kind of fell to pieces. And I thought, oh God, this horse is gone for the season. Back to the drawing board. Where does he go? Somehow he found a late rattle from somewhere, and it just goes to show you he's got a massive engine, this horse, if he can just get it right at the fences. Now, Tizard seems to be saying now that he's a definite 3-miler. I think the longer trip will help him get into a better rhythm than he got into at Aintree, and you can just see if he can just get it right at the fences between them, he is absolute mustard. So I think it's good to send him here on the back of a win. It was a Grade 1 win, and ultimately convincing if he wasn't kind of midway through the race. So if he can just keep in it, keep fiddling away, keep popping away, I think he's got the class, he's got the running talent to beat all of these on his day, and 7-1 is a very reasonable price. Tom, are you seeing this as a head scratcher, or are you seeing it nice and clearly?
I think this is I like this race. This is the race of for me that I totally agree with Watsy about Finian's Oscar. The problem he's got is there are lots of fences, aren't there? You know, he's undoubtedly the most talented horse in the race. If Colin Tizard had a brilliant time of this last year. His horses were brilliant at Aintree. I think they're peaking. I think Finian's Oscar, if he jumps, will win this race, no problem whatsoever. But that is the massive if. The worry you've got is Monley. Does he really stay 3 miles? I'm not sure. You've got a bit of guesswork involved in Monley really getting the trip. His best performance, I thought, was in the 2 mile 5 race at Leopardstown, and then he clearly got outstayed by Presenting Percy last time. Still finished second, but I'm not sure what you'd say about the rest of the field compared to, you know, in the RSA there. I don't think it was the greatest race. I think Gordon Elliott might have a chance with another one, Jury Duty, at around 20-1. He was favourite or very well fancied for the 4-miler at the start of the last time. Fell, I think, second last, but the ground was all too soft for him. Before that, he'd run Shattered Love really close in the 3-mile race at Leopardstown over Christmas. He's only beaten a length or so. Brown's coming in his favour. Not much between him and Shattered Love. He's 20-1. She's what, 11-2. So for me, I would throw a few quid at Jury Duty each way. But like Watsy, I'm a massive Finian's Oscars fan. And if he sorts out his jumping, because he jumped the last 3 really well at Aintree. If he can jump like that the whole way around, he will win.
It's some day, isn't it, Tom? Have you ever been to Punchestown?
I have, but not for the Punchestown Festival.
Oh, you went to another meeting?
Yeah, I did. I loved it.
Yeah, the festival's brilliant. It really is.
It's funny, Bruce. You said 5-10 years ago, we'd have said, "Oh, Punchestown sort of gets in the way of the flat, you know, the start of the flat and after chill." Now, in terms of quality, it might be better than the both of them.
Yeah, no question.
Because you've got all those. You see how many Irish horses won the handicaps and did these sort of things. Well, we're going to have all of them. We're going to have 20 Irish horses running in handicaps and novice races and things here. It's going to be just brilliant. It's going to be such good quality racing. And
Keel's over there making his debut.
Oh my God, he'll never get out, will he?
No, he won't. He'll have a great time. So if you're going to Punchestown tomorrow and you see Keel's, do buy him yet another Guinness. We've got podcasts every day from Punchestown. The lads are over there, so do tune in for those. Is there anything else on day one that you want to tip up? Tom, we'll start with you, Tom. Actually,
yeah. Well, there's a price. The price wise is going to be every day. We've got 4 races tomorrow. We've got the handicap hurdle at 4:55, which I'm getting sort of quite interested in. There's a horse who won it last year, Western Boy, who's coming back to try and do it again. I think he's got a chance. And Joey Sosa. I don't know if it's Joey Sosa. I don't know if anyone saw him win on the all-weather at Dundalk recently, but it was incredibly impressive. He's been trained for the race. Drying ground for both of them will be a big, big factor. So at the moment, I'm looking at them, but Willie's got about 10 in there, and anyone, like we saw the other day with the Low Sun when won the big handicap at Fairyhouse the other day. He runs 10, and any one of his 10 could easily win.
And anything else for the rest of the week, Tom, that we should be keeping an eye on?
Well, I'm very interested in obviously the Punchestown Gold Cup, the big one with Road to Respect as the favourite.
On Wednesday.
I'm a big Road to Respect fan, to be honest. I thought he ran a cracker at Cheltenham. I thought all the horses involved in the finish, although he was beaten quite a long way, I thought he was the one that was most disadvantaged by the ground. What he did have, though, was a really, really hard race. So whether he can bounce back on the back of that, I'm quite tempted to take him on at 2-1. I think once again there could be a funny result in there. And believe it or not, I'm not giving up on my old pal Total Recall, because I don't, he would have finished in front of Road to Respect in the Gold Cup, and then I think you can just throw out his national run. I know it was only a few days ago, but he didn't go that far because he made so many mistakes. If he came back to his best form, I think he'd almost win it.
Okay, Watsy, anything else on day one or indeed the rest of the week?
Yeah, the Gold Cup, I'm really interested in Beltil. He's actually unbeaten at the Punchestown Festival in 2 Grade 1 races. He won the Grade 1 bumper a few years ago, beat Disco. and then he won the Grade 1 3 mile for novices. So he obviously likes the track, likes this time of year. I was really impressed with his run in the Irish National last time under a big weight. And Connection seemed convinced that it wasn't tiredness that beat him after the last. Apparently got distracted by someone in a luminous jacket, which is why...
So what it was?
Which is why he climbed all over the fence and put half the field out of the race, or the ones that were closing.
Because he stayed on brilliantly, didn't he? I mean, he looked absolutely legless. At the time, you thought he was doing that because he was running on fumes, but then
he wasn't beaten far at all in that race, like you said, and he travelled like the best horse in it for quite a long way. And if he's fully recovered from that, like I said, the Punchestown record, the good ground, everything will suit him. I think he can run a big race and help Willie Mullins out a bit in that battle.
Okay, and Binners, anything for day one that we haven't discussed, or indeed the rest of the week?
I think in the Champion Stayers hurdle, Bruce, I think La Bagro Ra for Warren Greatrex is a huge price.
That French O-level came in handy again there, didn't it, eh?
Yeah, no, it was O-level, not A-level, Bruce. But, yeah, listen, she's 33 to 1. She's a massive price. She's had a wind-up since Cheltenham. She arguably could have won the Mayor's Hurdle. She made a hash of the last. She was very awkward. Richard Johnson thought something was amiss. Warren Greatrex won this race 2 years ago with One Track Mind. And Warren's convinced she's a Group 1 filly, and I hope he does it on Thursday.
Bruce, what about our old friend Forheen? What's the gen on him, do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He's going to go 3 miles, isn't he?
Well, I think that's really interesting. I'll tell you why for that Stayers hurdle. Nichols Canyon, 2 miler, 2.5 miler, went up to the Stayers hurdle, won. Yanworth last year ran in the Champion hurdle, went up to the 3 mile race, won. Identity Thief ran in the Champion hurdle this year, went up to the 3 mile at Aintree, won. All at big prices, all because everyone thought they didn't stay.
Forheen's won over 3 miles.
He's won over 3 miles. He didn't run as badly as everyone suggests in the Champion hurdle last time. Before that, he was only beaten a length by Super Sunday, who we know was second in the world. If he went 3 miles, I think he'd be a massive player, and he's 16 to 1. I think he is with Paul there. I thought he's a very interesting horse going up to 3 miles, because I don't think his form this year is as bad as everyone's suggesting.
No, it's only November. He pissed up in the Morgiana, and everyone was saying he's the kid. He's 16's Forheen, blimey.
Yeah, it's a big price, isn't it, for a horse that good?
Yeah, what a race that could be.
Yeah.
Good grief, what a week this is going to be. Absolutely superb. Like I say, don't forget there are daily Punchestown postcards, so definitely worth tuning in for them. Okay, every Monday we give you the chance to win a free £25 or €25 bet, courtesy of our sponsors, Paddy Power. You just had to answer the upcoming question correctly and tweet your answer using the hashtag postcast to stand a chance of winning. The question is, which horse won the Scottish Grand National at Ayr on Saturday? We will reveal the name of the winner in Friday's Weekend Tipping Postcast.
Get your hooves into this cracking offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet on all losers if the starting price favourite wins on at least one race every day of the Punchestown Festival. Find out each day's race online at paddypower.com. Max free bet £10. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.